there's a difference between the teaching of appropriates. When you teach a kid in a higher state than they need to be, it oftentimes leads them to trauma, where it treats the mental problems or depression, stuff like that. When you try to quickly rush through the childhood stage, it just creates problems. And so it's
Yeah.
always important. So yes, you can have those mature topics, but make sure you're keeping it in a sense that your child can understand it and they're not put out of a state of a child.
Yeah, that's what Bluey does like so correctly, and that's what some other shows kind. It's either they overdo it or they underdo it. So it's either they show too much gore, like what was that Happy Tree thing, or like they
Okay,
don't. And
to be fair, Happy Tree Friends was not a kids show. It was an adult show. It tried to get picked up by Adult Swim. That is a full-on adult show. The whole point of that show is to be funny because it's haha, it's a cute show, but it's gory. I
didn't
want to be
they
clear,
show
that
it at
was
PBS?
never shown to kids. That was never
Wh-
shown to kids.
Wait, I thought it was shown at PBS.
No.
Oh my God.
Originally, the idea was to get it sent to PBS, but then the
Okay, no, that
creators were
was a
like,
horrible idea. No, that's a horrible idea.
originally Happy Tree Friends was just supposed to be a normal kids show, but then the creators were like, you know what? We really like drawing our characters getting the crap beat out of them. And so then it did a full switch to basically Newgrounds style gore fest that they try to get picked up on Adult Swim, and they're like, no, we don't. It's a little too kiddie, even though you got the gore on it. And it's like, okay, we'll just dump it on YouTube, and and it got on YouTube. Yeah, that
That's
is
from
definitely not a kid show. Never been shown to kids, nor should it ever be shown to kids.
yeah, and the style is very deceiving as well. Like if ever a child saw that thumbnail and oh look, it's a kids show, they could easily just click on it.
No, I would know because I believe I was 9 years old when that show came out,
Oh my
and I
goodness.
watched it. Wait, let me see when did Happy Tree Friends come out?
Happy- Well, even
Mm,
the name sounds like it's a preschool show. Happy
mm.
three friends. It's not like it's like a blood fest. Like, oh yeah, this is about happy friends living in a tree. No, it's about blood. And then, I mean, some titles, I guess, there's also some, just also the matter of titles.
2005.
Oh my, that was when I was born.
Jeez,
Oh,
let's see. I saw Happy Tree Friends in 2011, I believe. So I was 8 years old when I saw it.
man,
I saw a lot of messed up stuff on the internet because I mean I was early years YouTube and
you
whatnot, so pretty much
really
anything
were just,
there.
was it nothing was censored at the time?
No, not at all. It's definitely not like now where you can't put a curse word in the first 15 minutes where your whole video gets demonetized, flash banged, and killed in front of the street.
Like, I was actually starting to get concerned about that as well. I was starting to get concerned of,
It's so ridiculous because there's YouTube Kids, right? If you want your kids to
yeah,
watch YouTube, you
that was
go
what
to
I
YouTube
said.
Kids. And uh that's just a parental issue, and we're in a time where parents rarely take responsibility for their own child's misupbringing. So YouTube has to compensate for those people with saying, well, now we have to take all these creators that did that was the worst for animators, like short video edit animators. One of my favorites, his name is Bird. He does like very simple animations. It killed him. It like killed him because he made like 30-second videos, but he like curses and stuff. So almost all of his videos got demonetized. It's ridiculous. YouTube is crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, aren't just kids, just like kids. Show your kids Coco Melon, like,
No, don't show the
like,
kids. Stop. Please don't do that.
oh my,
If you're gonna show your kid any show, show them the Magic School Bus. I will fight
oh,
people. That show
Oh
is
yeah.
so much better and much better kid show, and it's actually educational. It's actually entertaining. Ugh, I love that show.
Yeah, and I guess I think I grew up with Disney's Magic English. I grew up with that show. That wasn't. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the show during my age, like 2005 and all that. I'm pretty sure that was not the thing that was show. That was not like you for instance, you guys grew up on like the Magic School Bus or what was that, and what else did you grow up on? I'm pretty sure you grew up on the younger
Um,
Charlie Brown. I think I'm not sure.
Charlie Brown
Ow,
was actually I think early 70's.
older.
No, we had things like Magic School Bus, Fu, Osmosis Jones, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you also grew up on a lot of
Oh,
the
and
video
Bill
game, the
Nye.
older
Bill
version.
Nye.
Oh yes, that Bill Nye. Bill Nye. Yeah, you also grew up on the older video games too, so that's why you're kind of into like the Nintendo, um,
I got so hurt
Nintendo.
when a kid called a GameCube a retro console. I had to actually
Yeah,
pause and say, "Excuse me."
like the Nintendo, the Sega consoles. Like you grew up with that stuff. I'm pretty
Oh
sure
yeah,
the 2000 like during my time, it was already like it wasn't like immediately iPads and cell phones, but like we grew up like already knowing those stuff like a little bit, so it's like um
dog. I thought the iPod. I mean, the iPod came out when I was a kid. That thing didn't come out until
y-
2007. I was like,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, like
I thought I was born when that thing came out.
pretty sure Michael Jackson was still alive during my time.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of there was a lot of trends though. Like it used to be we grew up with Angry Birds, Temple Run, Candy Crush for crying out loud. What else? Subway Surfers. We grew up with those kinds of games.
Dog,
And
I grew up with Bejeweled on the flip phone.
you grew up on Mario and like um the Mario games, like the very old Mario games. Like you guys,
Well, it was also too that I pretty much like even though I was an early 2000s kid, I was basically raised as an early 90s kid. I mean, the first
mm,
console I ever played was a PlayStation 1,
yeah,
and for some reason I've never bought another PlayStation in my life. Um, but I mean, I watched every 90s cartoon and like
yeah,
I was basically a 90s kid. I just say that I'm a 90s kid even though I was born early 2000s, but
yeah. I felt
I grew up around that, and my sister was born on year 2000, so she's basically a 90s kid too.
yeah. Man, I really man. For some reason, there's like an inner desire for me to be a '90s kid as well. Like
90s were awesome.
the '90s. Look at you guys got to play on consoles and got like Switches and Nintendo Switches and Game Boys for your like birthday and whatnot. We were here we were here on our phones just playing Angry Birds. Man, yeah, like you guys know a lot of the lore of the games and whatnot, like Zelda, for instance. You guys know the timeline and the other stuff. You guys got to know that. We didn't.
It's the gamer grind set.
Yeah,
I
nowadays
was
It's Genshin Impact.
well,
What like that game's like a lot of MB.
no, it was I was really lucky because pretty much in the 2010s, that's when like cartoon and animation started taking like a huge toll, and it was just kind of repeat dribble and lacked quality. 90s was like peak peak of kids
Yeah,
cartoon. I mean,
P.
you had Chowder, you had Courage the Cowardly Dog, Codename Kids Next Door,
Yes.
Johnny Bravo, Dexter's Lab. I watched
Adventure.
every single one of those stinking shows.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Adventure Time also came out during that time, or no? It's probably like
That was
around
early
mine
2000s. I think
2000. So yeah,
I
yeah,
want
I
to
was
say
able to make it.
I think it was 2006. When did Adventure Time come out?
Um, just yeah, around that time. It's like I was already there. I was
Oh,
able
it
to
was
catch up and
right on
watch it.
2010 is when it came out.
Oh my
So it was
goodness,
right at the
that's
2010s.
so like what 5? I was 5 years
Did
old
you
when
know
that came out.
did you know originally that the pilot for that show aired on Nickelodeon beforehand, but they ended up
Yeah,
turning it down, and then Cartoon Network
Cartoon
picked it up.
Network.
It ended up being one of their most popular shows.
Yeah,
Anyway, and
that's
it's not to say that during the 2010s there wasn't any good shows. I mean, regular show, Adventure Time,
of course.
Maze Runner,
There was we
Gumball.
had Gravity Falls. We had Gravity Falls. We had
Oh, I
yeah,
would say
that hmm?
I will say it was more so the fall of Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, and then Disney just started to pop off with show after show that was banger.
Yeah, it's like you guys are already enjoying the Owl House currently. I used to love
Gotta watch it. You
Darkwing and
have to watch it.
Darkwing. I've been watching a couple of it. I've like I don't I'm not like go on to full series. I've been watching clips and stuff, but like
Hmm,
I've seen some bits of the Owl House. Hmm?
do you have Disney Plus? Or
I
do you
feel like
not?
my brother has. Yeah, I think he just got an account, and I'm just trying to find out how to log in because my phone is not working.
Here, hold on a
But
second.
I'm pretty sure there is.
I'll go on something for
No,
you.
no, because I haven't been updated on a lot of the Disney shows because Disney got canceled in the Philippines and then you can't watch any more Disney. It's just Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network. What the flip?
Here you go. This is where
Is
everyone watches the Owl House on because Disney canceled
Yeah.
it. It's actually like a fan dedicated website for the show. And Dana Terrace
Mm,
actually watches her show on it, so
so this is like legal.
it
This
it's about as legal as Dana Terrace tells it is, who is the creator show. And if you know what, she uses it to watch her own show on it, it's more legal than most websites.
That's fun. At least we won't. At least there isn't any problems with that. And then I
But
feel
like,
like season three of Owl House got like cut down to
it's only like a
what
few
like
episodes. Uh,
yeah, it's like an hour. There's like I'm pretty sure they're movie long like
each
episodes.
episode is 50 minutes right now.
Yeah, 50.
They're
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good.
Like
They're so good, and each one keeps making me cry, and it needs to stop.
did it just Hunter? I feel like the Hunter episode got a lot of that attention.
Oh my
The one
goodness,
where he turned the possessed.
Hunter is the stickler. I did not have a good childhood. Please take care of me. That's
Uh,
his character, and I love him.
Nerix keep telling. I'm pretty sure Nerix used to predict like, oh, Hunter's gonna be possessed. I can't believe she actually got it right.
I
Like
called
it
that.
sounded.
Actually, I'm not gonna say anything because I would spoil it. But I'm not gonna say anything.
Eh.
But right now is a really good time to get into it because season
It's
3 is
popular.
going on at the moment. At the
Yeah,
moment, and it's about to finish up soon, so it's like the perfect time to watch every episode and see how it all unfolds. Um,
yeah,
and I will say, not only is the show just entertaining, it is so good at depicting like actual, like middle school kids, and on top of that,
yeah,
like various different types. Like one of the best things is like tackling. It tackles abuse and mental issues, so things like self doubt and just general stuff like that. And it goes at it in such a good way. It's like they asked a psychologist what was the best way to go through it, and it's just so good. Kamiya is my
yeah,
favorite cartoon mom ever because she's the most
yeah,
accepting woman.
yeah. Camilla's her name, right?
Kamiya, yes.
Camilla. Yeah, but the spelling is basically that. So basically, my entire name got put in the Owl House. It's ridiculous. But yeah, at least you guys are watching shows that tackles those kind of stuff. The shows I'm watching are brutally traumatizing. Like we have robots slamming
Oh,
poor human beings, and pilots accidentally killing their dads. Like, I'm traumatized.
Owl House is not the most bed of roses. There's a lot of thorns in it, and it
Soup,
really does hit you
soup de
hard.
bellows.
It hits you hard.
Soup de bellows, basically.
Yeah, he
It's like,
deserved it though.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that guy was a bad guy. So I think all bad. I
Bellis
think
is
bad.
the bad guy, yes,
Yeah. So of course, I don't think.
but he's not.
I
He's
don't
not
think.
like the. He's not like the running trend of villains where it's like he's a
Haha.
bad guy, but he's got a redeeming quality of it. He's actually a good
That's
person. Bellos is just pure evil in every way, and I kind of like villains like that. Just
uh,
irredeemable people that you just want to see them get squished.
like I'm pretty sure you talked about it in your previous like your recent, like not recent, but like your secondary video that, who was that movie? Coup? Or not? Well, not Coup, because
No,
that was the owl. That was the
Shriek.
owl. Shriek.
Shriek.
That.
The thing
You were
was,
just you were
Shriek
just
had
horror.
yeah, Shriek had redeeming qualities, and I don't think she deserves what she got, but she didn't take the compassion and she killed Ku. So absolutely I think she deserved what she got to her.
Yeah,
You can't hurt the
exactly.
little you can't hurt the little owl baby and not expect me to be okay with that.
Brutally, like, oh my, this brutally murder, just brutal murder, just sometimes scares me a lot. Like you think a person is just, you think a person is just nice, and then they end up like slamming poor robot hand on a poor man. Like, oh my goodness. Like, you expect that person to be so like very like the character of Suleta Ganda Wichoraki. She was so like, from the first beginning of the show, she was like, so I related to her so much because she was insecure. She was like very I wouldn't say happy go lucky, but in a sense she was like a lot more determined. Like, she wanted to build a school for them and whatnot, and she was like determined to finish her checklist. She was just had little things. She was so innocent. And then I'm pretty sure her mom manipulated her to to turn to, like, yeah, if you have to, if bloodshed is necessary for the safety of everyone, then you have to do it. And then that happened. Like, I expected at least a little bit of guilt with that murder, but no, that she was smiling and she was like, "Oh, how happy you? What? Like, you did not just murder a sure, like, ignore the fact, like, you didn't just murder a man, like." It wasn't even just murder, he straight up destroyed.
Hmm.
You don't see a lot of shows like that, right?
You don't look at it on the adult side very often.
Oh my goodness. I'm turning into an adult. Should I be scared of this?
I would highly suggest, if you ever are looking at anime, never watch The Promised Neverland.
Oh my.
That
Oh
one is
good.
so messed up and dark in so many ways, but it's such a good show. But
Man.
don't watch it, it's traumatizing. Oh, it's traumatizing.
Is it a, well, what was the show where someone ate a kidney? Wasn't that Hunter x Hunter?
It ate a kidney?
No, was it kidney or was it a heart?
There's a show called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Is that gory?
It's actually not, it's a romance. And apparently it's
Yeah, it's
actually
so
really
weird.
good. Let
It's
me see it.
the title is like,
Eat-
the title's like, I want to eat your pancreas. I'm like, what? What
Yes,
is this? Is this cat?
it's an anime, it's a romance drama called I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
And there's no trace of cannibalism in there,
It's
or
a
18 plus.
96%, 9 out of 10. It's a
Oh,
good anime. It's actually got a really good story, and that's the part that makes me hate it the most. It's like, who named
why?
this? Why did they name it that?
Like, I mean, this is like Happy Tree Friends, where it's like, and just titling is just keeps titling like misleading things.
You should
Like,
definitely watch Your Lie in April.
oh, that, oh my goodness, isn't that the show where like the woman dies?
Mm,
Is it?
Sure, I'll go with that.
No,
The
I've
story
heard.
plot basically is this boy who was incredibly talented at piano,
Yeah.
um, used to perform, and whenever he would perform, he would almost seem like he was robotic in a sense. But that was because his oh god, I can't really say anything because it spoils it. It's
But
such a
like,
good show though, and it makes me cry.
because yes, of course,
Also,
I
they
can only
animated the
go.
piano playing correctly, and I applaud that because it's so
Yeah.
rarely done.
Have
The
you?
only good instance of that is from Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, that one video where like they tried to like cover the. It was like a girl who tried to cover Tom's like piano. Pretty sure it went
No,
viral.
no, no. They won a I think it was a what is the one for entertainment? Is it a Grammy or is it an Emmy? Emmy is for music, right?
Yes,
It's a
Grammys for like
Grammy.
film.
Okay. The Cat Concerto. That's what it's called. They
Yeah.
did this as a submission to the Grammys, and they end up winning it because, even though Looney Tunes did the exact same performance, and Looney Tunes was actually bigger at the time, um,
Mm.
Tom and Jerry just put so much more effort to it, and to the point that
Yeah.
the entire performance is animated correctly.
Yeah, like Tom and Jerry, my goodness, I grew up with that show. My brother and I grew up with that show, and I'm like, yes, the
We
old
have
Tom
every
and Jerry,
single
the old Tom and Jerry, with the old,
the
yes,
best.
that one, the
We
old
have
Tom and Jerry, like the old Tom and Jerry is like, ooh, glorious. They use like music from like classical music most of the time, right?
mhm,
And then there's just like I'm pretty sure it's hand drawn. It's like it's more like silent than it's more usually silent, and usually it's
yeah,
Tom
they
screams
don't
that
talk the entire time, which makes it so much more funnier when Tom just randomly goes,
for a scream.
"Hey, baby, you know
Yeah,
you
that
set
one.
my soul on fire." It's so funny.
It's like Tom screams as well. They always get me.
Because they're
Like
goofy, but
like
we have every single, episode on DVD because we would love just binge watching it. But
yeah.
in the Cat Concerto, I actually thought that they were doing when they were doing the performance, they were actually, like, doing multiple songs in it because it sounds like it's constantly switching through different
Yeah,
songs.
I checked the
But
actual
actually
music of
listen to
that.
the song, it is note for note the exact same in the performance.
Yeah, exactly. And sure, it was like shortened a bit because of course, but like they
Yeah, you
actually
don't have
got
the
it
time.
right. They actually got it right. And I don't know how they're coming up with these kinds of storytelling and like just making it in sync with the music. That's also what I like about Tom and Jerry is that their stories are usually like in sync with the music that's happening. So, for example, the Cat Concerto, like that they made it so like the entire storyline revolves around the music and stuff. So, like if the music's starting to get a little mellow, the scene will start to get a little mellow as well. That's what I liked about Fantasia as well. If you've seen that, the Disney one, one Walt Disney made, like they revolve so much around music and they revolve so much around they perfectly blend it. It's beautiful,
Mhm.
and you don't get to see
It's
that a lot.
yeah, no, it's such a underappreciated thing in the medium. And, like, Tom and Jerry mastered slapstick humor. Like,
Yeah,
the way I say it is the Three Stooges walks if Tom and Jerry could run.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they also like started a golden age of that kind of humor.
Mhm.
Ew.
Yeah, Looney Tunes, Tom and
Looney Tune
Jerry.
came close. They came close.
I think Looney Tunes was actually first, if I'm not wrong. But I
I
think
thought,
just Tom and Jerry did better. When
yeah.
did this
Mm,
come out? Looney
mm.
Tunes came out and that is not right. 1930. When did Tom and Jerry? When did Tom and Jerry come out? Why is it? No, it's definitely not.
Like
It is
it's
definitely
like
not the 80s, I know that.
yeah. Well,
1940.
yeah, I think Looney Tunes. The only thing I've watched, the only few things I've watched from Tunes are like the Speed Runner. What am I saying? Like
Oh,
the yeah, the Road Runner, and the Coyote thing, and then
Roadrunner.
Bugs Bunny and Bugs Bunny, and then Daffy Duck. Those were the only few that I watched, and I always loved them.
There's so many
They're so
different ones.
hilarious. This Roadrunner is just so hilarious, and I'm like, everything. It's so basic and so like childish. If you were to watch it now, people would kill you. But like, I just love like basic humor and not like over analyzing.
Mhm,
I want pie slapped into faces and not just like sudden like in sense of meme formats and stuff and punchlines and like comments. Like, no, I want people getting slapped in with pie in the faces. I want like
sometimes you just
coyotes
need
getting
goofy humor,
yeah. Sometimes you just don't need to overcomplicate things.
and, what was it? Dang, I forgot what I was gonna say. Um, crap, I just now forgot what I was gonna say, dang. Oh, with
Basically,
Looney Tunes, the things that was, most impressive to me about it was that every single character in that show is voiced by one single man.
yeah.
He's
One
known as the
wait,
man with 1,000 voices because he did everything.
wait, who was that again? I
Mel
for
Blanc.
Oh
He
yeah.
voiced over 1,000 characters.
I've seen a lot of like those like the voice actors now are just like including you, the voice actors nowadays are really easily able to change their voices. Like you can tell, like one day you can be an anime character, that's like a hot anime character, and the next day you can be Bugs Bunny. Like how? 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 Like how can you
It's
just
just having that
switch?
special range.
Like how that shouldn't be easily attainable. Like for me, for instance, like when I voiced, you remember Gundam Nexus, when I voiced RC in Gundam Nexus versus when I voiced RC in the Little Mouse. Like you know the difference, but you can still tell it's me. Like there's not
Yeah,
really a lot of difference because that kind of splitting of those voices is very hard.
but I could literally do the, like, I can really go from, like, this really excited anime character, right?
Yeah,
And then I can go down to this simple little
British,
Santa-sounding character.
and
You
then you can
know,
just go
it's
to
just
the
having
absolute
it.
horror character.
Yeah, it's just having a different range of different things. It comes with practice and just having. I think I'm blessed because my dad has great vocal range. I mean, he can do voice acting and he can sing really well, and so I probably got it from him. Or I can go from this really high and special tone voice to a very deep and very
Like,
very sinister sound.
growly,
Yeah,
growly. The only range I can do is just my normal range, and I can, oh, hey, I'm Icy, and I love this
yeah.
beautiful character, and I'm like, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, the little mouse, and then Tara was basically just me, the same me. I don't think I changed Tara a lot because she's a woman, and I don't think there's anything I could have done to play with her voice, or
Uh
maybe
huh.
there was. I just wasn't creative enough because that was kind of a rushed voice acting. Because originally there was someone who was gonna voice for it, but then she didn't kind of reply to me at all, like ever. So I just had to take her place, and it's like, man, that was so hard. Like to find a creative voice that isn't like the same as your own. Pretty sure you can. Yeah, pretty sure a lot of voice actors do struggle. Like just like if you're gonna have a character, make it anything but like sound like your own
Your own
normal
voice.
voice. Yeah.
My default, like, if I'm trying to have a goofy character, I just always go with this fun voice because it
Oh my
just
god.
has so much animation and character and so many fun tones.
You can even from hearing it, you can already tell like your mouth is really moving a lot,
Mhm.
and
But
it's like,
I struggle to do, like, basic roles, like, if someone just wants a normal guy, I can't just be like,
I can't. I can't just
like
know.
give me late teens, just normal guy. I'm just like, what do I do here? I don't know. Because like whenever I talk, I feel like I talk monotone, so I'm not good for that. But I
Yeah,
did
more
have
highly expressive characters.
I was looking on Casting Call the other day. I just because I'm just looking at projects. I'm not really doing. I don't really have the time to do a lot of voice acting. But I had
Yeah.
one role. Where was the thing that I saw? Save searches, I think it was. They changed their website, and I hate it.
Yeah. It's
I
like
think it was
um
perfectly.
you know, like that's a weird thing about voice acting is you can do a lot more proficient with proficient. What am I saying? Profession or like just like more emphasis on those characters that have really energetic because that's usually how voice actors are seen, right? They're usually more on the highly animated characters or even if not like those characters who have emotion, more emotion range and stuff. You can't just and you like what the hardest thing that character struggle like voice actors struggle with is just normal people.
Yeah,
Even though that's literally what
and
they're supposed to be better.
I always kind of look for the odd character out in the bunch to choose to like go for a role or something. There was one where it was like, oh, it's supposed to be like an arrogant woodland goddess or a god that kind of is. He doesn't acknowledge threats very much, and it's like, oh, so you mean to tell me you walk into my forest, expect my help, and you treat me this way? And you expect me to listen why? I kinda put, like, a
That's
fun little tone to it, you know? I just can't do,
yeah.
like, "My name is blah, 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 and this is blah, blah, blah,
my
blah, blah, blah," 'cause
name
I
is
gotta be a little expressive.
yeah. It's like they just add so much to a production if your character just sounds more iconic. So let's say like Mickey Mouse, like we all know Mickey Mouse voice. We all know the we all know
Yeah.
that's because that's so iconic. That's so iconic, and like no character, you wouldn't think a mouse would sound like that, but it was made like that. Therefore, it's like they're iconic. So like usually the weirder characters usually get a lot of the sensation because like more like they sound more iconic. You can easily memorize their voices because the voice is just so weird, just weird enough to be like so recognizable. And I feel like that's also a big thing with like the big characters like Mickey, Donald, Goofy, you know, the other characters.
Mhm.
They're just
But
iconic because
it's just those roles where it's like, it's either it's, like, over the top or, like, very sinister and serious. I love those so much because like,
yeah, like
I just love the Oh, I love to be evil. Into the
like
more like, "Oh, you mean to tell
uh,
me you
yeah
failed
the
another time?" It's just a completely 2 different tones. They're so much fun, but, like,
it's angst, like
being
the angst
normal
stuff.
just being normal's not fun
Ew,
to me.
normal.
Ew,
Ew,
I think that'd be
ew,
crazy.
ew, normal. Like this is like I love how like it's just this entire era is just like this entire era, not even just for voice acting, for everything. It's just not anymore a place for like ew weird. It's like every nowadays it's just like ew normal.
Mhm.
It's just like interesting. Like interesting science. It's like
It
interesting.
is.
And then
All the
speaking of hmm?
Huh? What were
You
you
said
gonna say?
something?
No. What were you
I
gonna say?
forgot what I was gonna say. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I forgot what I was gonna say too.
like what was I gonna say? Like in like just interesting science to how like being weird now is kind of more fun, I guess, in a sense.
Just more fun.
Because like you do unexpected things. Like as a human, you're like usually there is people who just love risks, and usually that's for most people.
Hmm.
And then it's just like, yeah, you can do weird stuff, and sometimes it's just really like no room for like judgment because weird things are usually the fun things as well.
Hmm.
It's really fun. Ow! With some like beautiful, beautiful like expression to that.
Yeah.
Ow!
But anyhow, I do need to be getting
Yeah,
going soon. It's pretty late.
I was gonna say it is 11 for T4 in my place. Therefore, it's 10:44 in your place. Therefore, you should have been in bed a long time ago.
I think you should have been in bed a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
don't
anyway,
like. Yeah, you should go to bed because you have a big day tomorrow. I'm pretty sure you still have school tomorrow.
I do not. I have work though.
That's fine.
School only lasts up until Thursday.
Ah,
College is
that's
interesting.
yeah, that's same. Yeah, same with ours. We just ended like Thursday half day.
But anyhow, it
Yeah,
was really good talking to you again.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, should probably head to bed now.
You take care, RC.
Yes, take care too.